The reason your offense is trash and you can't seem to score on anyone in CFB 26 is because you're using the wrong playbook. Luckily for you, I've scoured all 100 plus playbooks in college football 26 and narrowed it down to the top 3 playbooks you need to be using. So don't skip out on any of them. I will warn you though, if you skip out on any of the playbooks I break down today, it could be the reason your offense is still stagnant, and I wouldn't want that to happen. So let's jump right into it. Because first I want to break down the most explosive offense with bombs all over the field here in college football 26. Let me show you. All right, so first we're going to come here into gun Y off trio close. Our playbook here is going to be the Oregon State Beavers playbook, all right? We're going to put our running back on a shriek. We are going to put our B receiver on a drag and hike the ball. This is going to be really great when they run cover 3 defenses, but the reality is you're not always going to get the exact look that you want. So that's why it's important to have a good pocket presence, still continue to step up. Like right here, right, you could read this as cover 2 instead of cover 3. So it's like with this, you're more so just calling this play against every defense and knowing that you're going to have options against every defense, but it's going to bomb cover 3 for an easy score. So we're going to take the snap again right here. We're going to step up in the pocket, and we're just going to notice how when we lob that pass over the top, that receiver is going to get behind that DB, that inside third defender, for an easy score. The reason why this is going to happen is this crossing route is going to force this man to like hesitate in the middle. He's thinking, hey, wait, do I have to guard this? But then this man's running over the top, and then he bends his route off over the top, and like you see, he's going to be able to get behind him, for a score. Now, what I would recommend is that you probably don't lob it. Like right there, I lobbed that pass. Normally, like actually pretty often when you lob, you get that kind of weird overthrow animation. So you do want to make sure that you are just, or also that you're not taking sacks like that. That's the thing too, is like when you're calling these bombs, these one-play touchdowns, like cool, it's a great one-play touchdown. It can beat every defense, in the game. But the reality is you might not actually have time to be able to throw it. And so you have to really make sure that you step up in the pocket and you actually do have time. Like right here, I do have time to throw that pass over the top. We're able to complete it. Now, I couldn't like stand tall in the pocket. He was wide open over the top for the score. But you see how I kind of had to like step up, buy time, pocket collapses, and then I still find him because he still ends up running right behind this dude for, just an easy game, but then he comes up, makes a tackle. So it's like, you really need time. This is one of the longer developing plays here in the game, one of the longer developing bombs. So you're going to certainly need time to be able to get that pass over the top. But nonetheless, being able to beat every defense, if they shed you or they run man coverage, look to your drag or your crosser to Walker and Clemens. But regardless, if they run cover 3, you're going to have that fade over the top. But let me show you another play here that's probably even easier to run. All right, and that's going to be flood here from gun bunch a strong offset. All right, we're going to put our running back on the in route, and we're going to hike the ball. The reason why is because this is our part of our explosiveness, our ability to play fast and not worry about what the defense is in. What makes this play so great is you can go to this play in the first play of the game and the last play. All you really have to do is make the read. You're going to have someone open. Regardless, you're able to see I'm just going to be able to speed boost and get around these guys and turn that into an easy game. A simple 2-yard in route, because they don't have a flat route in the field, turns into a 40-yard gain down the field. But again, we talk about everything beaters. So as long as you're going through the read progression, you're not going to really have to worry about reading their defense. You notice how I'm just walking the line casually and just calling my plays. I'm not necessarily worried about are they in cover 3 over here? Are they in cover 4? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually matter what covers they're in. And that's how you guys should start to play offense here in this game. You should really not worry about actually what coverage they're in and just go through your read progressions on every play. Identify your first read, right? My first read here is going to be my running back or my flat to Clemens, right? My second read is going to be my tight end corner route here, and my third read is going to be my backside dig route to Walker. And here's the thing, if they give you the first read, you hit it, no questions asked. It's only if you feel like the route's taken away when you move the second read. And because again, you don't want the first read to be a corner route, right? Because it's like, what if they guard it? Like right there, where like that's just good defense. So they take that away, and then I pass up an opportunity to hit an easy check down underneath. So right here, I take the snap again with this play, everything beater, someone's open, and I'm just gonna have that, well, he was wide open over the top of my quarterback, decided not to sail it. Certainly not going to end on that right there, but we're going to take the snap again, feel the pressure, know we can roll out, and then we're going to have our backside dig open. So this Oregon State playbook, super explosive because you have great one-play touchdowns over the top, but then you also have a really explosive quick snap play that can attack every level of the defense, and you don't even have to read their coverage. All right, so if you found those 2 plays there from the Oregon State offense helpful, you found it really explosive, go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks just like this every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Oregon State offensive ebook, which goes through the full videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate your offense from this playbook, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. It's a full written breakdown with videos and screenshots that guide you through all of the plays, and I highly recommend you check it out. But let's jump right back into the video. Because next I want to break down the most unique offense here in the game that not enough players are using right now. Super explosive as well. Let me show you the North Carolina playbook. All right, so we come into gun bunch wide. We're calling clear out FLN, all right? All we want to do with this play is we are going to motion this receiver inside and put him on a shriek like this. Now, the look that you're trying to get here is going to be a cover 3 defense, but also understand, like right here, they're going to be in man. So if they're in man, you've got to be ready to hit your backside dig route. I didn't even know this quarterback was left-handed. But you have to be ready to hit your backside dig route, right? Because that's the only man-beating route that you would have on this play, right? If you one of your shrieks beat his man and got open over the top, just ran by the guy, that would be fantastic too. But here, again, they're going to be in a cover 3 defense. And so really what you're trying to do is just attack the seam, right? Attack the seam that they don't actually, defend, because there's a single high safety and you basically have 2 shrieks running down the middle. Now, right there, if you have a quarterback that just isn't very good, like he's just going to sail that pass, unfortunately, like what happened right there. Right here, they're going to be in cover 2, and this is going to be one of the best parts about this play is, obviously you're going to have your guys open over the top, potentially, but always you can just step up in the pocket. So again, motion this receiver inside, and you're trying to get a cover 3 look, and this is a different type of cover 3. This is a cover 3 that we love to play against because the safety isn't in the middle of the field. You see how he's going to rotate from the right side to the middle? So this seam to number 3 is just going to be the easiest pass ever. Boom, throw it. Well, I guess if my quarterback wasn't so bad. But this dude is literally terrible. I'm sorry, I can't do anything with this. But this is exactly how you're going to attack this defense, because this safety's rotating from this side, and then you just throw this pass right in front of him. Boom, easy. Or you could just throw this tight end pass right up the middle and possession catch it. So really, when they give you cover 2 or cover 3, it's just going to be an easy gain. And then when you see man coverage, you read man, right? That's when you hit your backside dig. Now, if you're also playing against man, instead of putting this guy in a shriek, you could just put him on a drag, give yourself another man beater. But if you're playing against zone coverage, you want to make sure that you're able to kind of find your guys open in the middle right there, whether it's your tight end seam shriek. And because especially like when you're playing against cover 3, here's the thing you got to realize. You're trying to read defenders. So if they run like cover 3 hard flat where their hooks are playing shallow, well, then you hit your seam. If they shade over the top, right, where their hooks are going to drop back to 10 yards, then you have to just hit your backside dig because their hooks are going to drop right to the area where your fade route or your seam shriek is going to be. So anytime you're playing against zone coverage, that's really what you're looking for. That's what you're trying to read. And again, if they run man, your really only option is your backside dig, unless you want to put an extra man beater on the field, which you could certainly do. But right here, they're going to shade underneath, and so we're just going to throw that seam pass, especially if they don't have their safety depth and close. So this is a really great play here to just walk up the line, attack every defense in the game. And again, like I said, it's super unique. North Carolina also has some other great plays here from bunch wide, verticals, wide trail. They also have trips X nasty, but this is one of their best plays in my opinion because it has bomb potential, and you can also be really methodical with it by reading those hook zone defenders. All right, so if you enjoyed any of the 3 plays I've broken down so far in this video, I wanted to remind you to go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down college football 26 tips and tricks every single day to help you guys get better, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But let's jump into that final playbook you don't want to miss. which is going to be the new best playbook here in college football 26 from the Alabama playbook. No joke, this one is like impossible to defend. Let me show you. All right, so we're going to come first here into wide trail from gun punch open offset. All right, this play super duper explosive. What we're gonna do is put A on a shriek and block our running back. All right, so really, like I say earlier, with a lot of these plays, you're looking for a particular coverage, but don't panic when you don't see it, right? You're looking for them to be in a cover 3 defense, you know, for this to be the most effective. So I'll go ahead and put them in cover 3 just so that you can see it, but you're just gonna step up in the pocket. And right there, I felt the pressure, so I decided not to throw it. That's the important thing too, is like we call bombs, we call one play touchdowns. Like you're gonna see this play is gonna be great against cover 3, but the reality is you have to feel the pressure. You have to read the offensive line, read the pass rush, and know when to escape the pocket. Right here again, this time I see my line's gonna give me so much more time, and now I can easily throw that pass. Now, this can be a one-play touchdown if your tight end is fast enough, right? The unfortunate part about this play is that unless you use some sort of depth chart glitch, your tight end is going to be the one getting this ball here versus like a really speedy receiver. So in like cut or in dynasty, right, you can get a super fast guy here, but it's like, you know, in the regular game mode or to the CFB, you're kind of stuck with who you got. But you're able to see how wide open he gets, and the reason why is because you're attacking zone logic. You have a comeback route which is going to pull this outside third down and outside, hold him in the middle, or excuse me, hold him outside, and then open up the middle of the field for us to just be able to throw that pass. Also, you're going to notice how we're going to put them in cover 2 right here. And the thing about cover 2 is everyone learns, especially in this game, to use a middle linebacker. Well, the reality is they're taking their middle linebacker out of the play here. They're taking him out of the middle of the field. So it's like if they don't get back there with their user, then they're not going to actually be able to defend this play. You're just going to notice how we're going to have that pass open in the middle of the field if I waited a little bit longer, simply because their user is supposed to be the guy that's guarding, you know, the middle of the field. So we go with it again. And obviously, like I said, if you have a faster tight end, he gets to the spot faster, this is going to be even better. But now you're going to see it again where that's going to be wide open for us in the middle, because our comeback route is still going to pull that deep half outside towards the sideline and therefore open up the middle of the field. Look how far outside this deep half is towards the sideline, trying to defend a comeback route that really he shouldn't be defending, and then it opens up the middle just for this to be, you know, a wide open completion. So really that's the thing with this play. It also, like I said, beats man, so you don't really have to panic if you don't see the coverage that you want. Against man coverage, you really don't want to panic either. You kind of just want to be ready to hit your comeback route, like as before it turns around, like right there, where you're just patient, you wait for him to turn around, and then you throw it because it's a comeback, right? You're coming back for the ball. This defender is going to have no chance to actually make a play when you throw the pass on time. So really that's the first play from the Alabama playbook, but let me show you another one that's really explosive, which is going to be this one, RPO read wide flat from gun trips tight end, all right? All you want to do is put X on a flat and snap the ball, because you're already going to have your tight end running a flat, so you actually just have to go make the read between which flat you want to throw. All right, so right there, really what you're trying to get is you can just hike throw this, right? It's going to be pretty consistent. I like this play as a 2-point conversion play. I like it when we're inside the 5-yard line, simply because it's just really easy to execute. By putting your man on a flat, he doesn't lose any of his momentum. So like even if they were to run man coverage, like I'll put them in man, where you see he's manned up with Bray Hubbard, he's going to make a beeline out towards the sideline, and Bray Hubbard gets chipped up dealing with those blockers, and now we have an easy pass. That's the reality of this RPO, is when you leave him on a bubble, he runs backwards a little bit, loses his momentum. But when you actually just you put him on a flat and then press his button, he's going to get downhill faster and be able to turn that into easy yards. So again, right here, you could also hand the ball off to your running back. Now, like I said, I would say the first read most of the time is just going to be this flat out here to this receiver. You kind of just chuck it, to be honest. Like, it's going to be impossible pretty much for them to be able to, like, intercept. So it's like you're pretty much always going to be going forward with this play. Also, that's a throw you can make too, to the tight end flat, especially if it's like one-on-one coverage, you box the guy out, or they don't have numbers to that side, where it's like you can just throw that. That's pretty risky. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But there's also going to be times where if they like only have one guy on that side, you can just beat that man to the sideline. But also, I would just say the first read pretty often is just going to be that pass right there. And again, even if you pick up a yard, like you're moving closer to the end zone. Like this is an example of where the tight end flat could be open because they're stacking that trip side. So boom, now you throw it and you extend this ball over, or you actually run that. That was the worst animation I could have gotten. But when it's a one-on-one tackle situation, you can honestly, extend the ball by flicking the right stick up, right? But right here again, where that's going to be an easy pass. So I would say that this play from the Alabama playbook, RPO read wide flat, gives you so many different options, and it's one of the best red zone plays in the game because you're making one hot route and then quick snapping the ball. All right, so if you enjoyed that breakdown of the top 3 offensive playbooks right now here in CFB 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down college football 26 tips and tricks to help you guys get better every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my Alabama or Oregon State offensive ebooks, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab them today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. They both go the full videos, screenshots, write-ups, everything you're going to need to dominate an offense from either one of those playbooks. And the best part is you can always save the ebook on your phone and reference it during gameplay. It's really a great way to transform your offense. And if you want to see the top 3 defensive playbooks you need to be using here in CFB 26, check out this video. I'll see you over there. Peace.